This month, we're talking about the best practice advices and helpful tips that you've learned along your way. We asked the community, and also I attended a great workshop here the other day, so also want to share my biggest takeaways from that one. It was a bluegrass mandolin workshop with Tristan Scroggins, so a lot of good things coming your way.
Hey there, music makers. I'm Hayes Griffin.
I'm Magnus Zetterlund.
And welcome to the Mandolin Secrets Podcast, a show where we take a deeper look at what's happening in the world of mandolin secrets. Each episode will tackle our question of the week, unpack the latest mandolin secrets and guitar club lessons, and answer your questions about mandolin, guitar, and all things music. In this episode, we'll be discussing what are the best practice advice or helpful tips that you've learned. Did you attend any good concerts this summer? Magnus has some takeaways from his workshop that he attended at the Grenna Bluegrass Festival with Tristan Scroggins. And then there's a new YouTube video coming out about Pinky Power from Magnus. And then I was able to actually get a sneak peek at Northfield's new electric guitar. So we've got a lot of stuff coming your way this episode. Before we dive into that, though, head to mandolinsecrets.com/podcast to sign up for reminders about our upcoming episodes. And you can always just search Mandolin Secrets Podcast on your favorite podcast platform and subscribe to get updates there.
Yeah. So we already mentioned that I kind of recently got back from the Grenna Bluegrass Festival. And of course, meeting a lot of good old friends, making new friends, new people, all that. And funny thing that also, I remember one evening, there's this evening jam at the Hamnkrogen, the harbor bar sort of, and there's this American woman spotting me in the bar. She comes up there, driver's cap, and she's like, "Oh, you're that guy with the podcast, right?" And I asked, yes, I'm the podcast guy. First time it happens. I mean, both you and me has been addressed like, "Oh, you are that guy doing the YouTube videos," or whatever it is.
Yeah.
First time being the podcast guy. That's great.
You're a multimedia star now, you know?
I'm not sure. But then, yeah. But and this woman, she had her daughter attended the workshops, and she kind of have I think she thanked us for the podcast, saying it was really good. I don't know, but anyway,
That's really cool, man. I love that.
Love it. So it feels sort of natural to start in that end, but anything new happening for you the last weeks that worth mentioning also, Hayes, before diving into the questions?
No, I think we can just go ahead and dive straight in, man. It's been just a bunch of YouTube recording and lessons over on my end. Life is pretty standard over here, you know?
Still, I'm kind of curious about this, the new electric guitar that you had a little sneak peek of and all that. So, but we'll come to that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Both you and me are all the time trying to give practice advices and helpful tips to everyone. But it was also interesting to ask the community what their best advices were and things that I have learned, and got many good of them. But I want to share this one coming from Jane, because I think it's kind of summarized things in a really good way. But so I'm just reading straight from this answer from Jane. "My advice, which was helped me learn and progress, is to play music you enjoy, learn music you inspire to, and set goals which stretch you, but are attainable with time and effort. That way you always have fun, even when the music is difficult. You always improve with each practice session, even if sometimes it doesn't feel like it, and eventually achieve something that you can feel proud of." That's really good. Yeah.
I agree with all of that.
Yeah. But I think it's very well said. Other like really good things, and I kind of what also Jane is. I think Jane's whole response to it. It's really like use your desire as a guidance, sort of, and that's a good, because that's really how musicality thrives, not out of discipline, not out of hard work, but from desire and creativity.
Yeah, passion or whatever for it, right? I think that's so true, because I think some of the students that I have who maybe fell off and stopped lessons or quit guitar didn't have that kind of drive for it. They liked the idea of learning the guitar maybe or something like that, but there wasn't like they didn't have like a specific guitarist or a specific song or solo that really like fired them up about it. They just, thought it looked fun or something like that. So I think that is a big difference, to have that, recognize what it is that you love about music and let that guide you through it.
Yeah, absolutely. This is another kind of question, but I have been talking to some people lately, students that have, because you mentioned something that that doesn't stay on the path, like that falls off, and it's so I see common theme by a few students that I've talked with lately. As soon as they kind of come to I feel like they are in a rut or plateaued or anything. So if you, maybe someone can recognize yourself in that position, and a very common thing and an easy thing to do is to go for another instrument. I have people jumping from mandolin to ukulele to banjo to guitar, back and forth, and it's nothing wrong with that, but also know that sometimes if you can sort of face the challenge and face this obstacle in front of you, and probably even have someone to help you tackle it, you can get through it. And that's how to get to a next level on an instrument, because a plateau is kind of it's a state that happens from time to time.
Yeah, and for the best players, right? It has nothing to do with like your aptitude or ineptitude or whatever, right?
No.
It's something that will happen. You can almost say that, right? Like it's something that will happen, and you need to be prepared for that.
And I think that I just wanted to bring it up because, like, looking, if it's not, even if we are fueled by desire, passion, and all that, it's not like a linear path to success, sort of. There are challenges here, but also, well, we all know that overcoming a challenge or now I can actually play something that I couldn't do 2 months ago, or that feeling is very rewarding, and and we kind of have to well, there's gonna be times when we feel that progress is slow and all that, but still keep at it.
I can promise you, listening to that the feeling of working through that challenge is much more rewarding than the feeling of buying that new guitar. That's kind of a joke, but I really mean that, buying the new guitar feels good at first, but when you make that, I think I've told you this story before. When I figured out the speed picking thing, when I finally got the right hand, I ran upstairs to Quinn. You know what I mean? It's like I got it. I figured it out. It was like one of the biggest accomplishments of my life.
Wow.
So that's waiting for you if you stick with it.
Yeah. by the way, talking about that, the speed picking, the pick slanting, the forward leaning kind of pick escape motions. I talked with Max, the singer and guitarist of Happy Heartaches.
Yeah.
So he sort of had that moment recently when that whole thing was introduced to him, and so he was now like very enlightened. but I told you that you've been deep into that, and so I could follow his conversation around it simply because you gave me those tools. And
man.
But he
welcome to the club, Max.
Yeah, welcome to the club. I feel like I'm not getting anywhere with this podcast because there's just loops connecting. Have you heard of Jake Workman? You familiar with his work?
Oh yeah. He was. I discovered him after our pick slanting kind of journey together. But then as soon as I saw his right hand, I was like, oh my gosh, he's doing it. He's a bluegrass guy that's doing it, because you can see it like, moving this way and doing all the correct motions. And he talks about it in his workshops. I've learned this from like other students of mine who have taken his classes.
That's where Max has picked this up. And he's now working with Jake Workman to get this into his own playing. And
so cool, man.
Really, really cool. And I haven't been able to check any of Jake's playing or music yet, but so it's one of these names that I brought from the Grenna Festival.
Yeah,
actually,
you're in for a treat.
Thanks. Let's dive into my takeaways from the Grenna workshop. Otherwise, we'll never get there, I feel.
Yeah, let's do it, man. I love it.
So I attended this 3-day workshop with Tristan Scroggins. Tristan was guest on our podcast here just a couple of months ago. So if you don't know Tristan, check that one out. He's a Nashville-based mandolin player, one of the young stars at the bluegrass scene, I would say. That is how I presented him before meeting him. Now that I met him, I can only confirm it. It's so impressive how like deeply connected he is to the bluegrass tradition. So that was just being around him, hearing about like all his influences. That itself was very inspiring. But a few like more hands-on tips that affects me in my practice room at the moment, affected me at the jam sessions I was attending. Kind of a number of things that struck me. First thing, talking about economy of motion, especially in fretting hand. This idea of keeping your fingers close to the fretboard so that we can, play efficient without moving our hand too much, basically. And not only the concept of it, but also I got a few new lessons or exercises, I would say, exercises for how to work on that. To the grade so that I'm feeling I have to back off now because my hand is starting to to hurt.
It's like a physical conditioning thing, maybe. Yeah, that's fun.
but very inspiring to get an injection of that it's going to pay off in my playing. I have the feeling. Another thing that was sort of like that I can't say it affects my playing at the moment, but he talked a lot about the groove and the rhythmic elements of a bluegrass ensemble, and more specifically how the bluegrass the mandolin chop is sitting within this. And we like mostly talking about 4/4 time, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and where we chop the chords at beat 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But and how the bass and the mandolin kind of locks in with each other. Really interesting.
Yeah, man, that's some great stuff to talk about. I would be interested to get Tristan's thoughts on that because he's such a groovy player. You know what I mean? You listen to the Missy Raines band. I'm sure you saw them perform at the festival. Like that. Their groove is like tight. You know what I mean? It's,
and it's sort of like the nuances and the way he talked about it, how like we're actually pushing the beat a little bit. So the mandolin chops being slightly before the beat, sort of. I mean, this is conceptual, so it's not like, but so if we, for example, would set a metronome clicking 1, 2, 3, 4, the mandolin chop would be slightly before the beat 2 and 4, sort of. And also the bass, like how a good bass player also will play a little bit ahead of the beat. But his also like observation out of studying and playing this is that so while the bass player is slightly ahead of the beat, the mandolin player would be a little before the slightly ahead of the beat, sort of.
Yes, exactly.
So that it's not like symmetrical. I would have to draw this to kind of explain it
for sure. But I think that most listeners who have played the bluegrass groove probably understand what we're talking about right now, because there are these terms out there, right? Like pushing the beat, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And I think it's important concepts to explore. Otherwise, the groove. If you've ever been in a bluegrass jam where the groove slows down, you know what I mean? You'll know immediately that this isn't being practiced. You know what I mean? When you feel that kind of. It's like I call it like a sagging, like bluegrass groove. Like it almost, even though you might be keeping the same tempo, it feels like it's just slowing down and down and down the more you play. Because I think that mandolin, I almost think about it like a dog nipping at someone's heels. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like the thing that just kind of like pushes you ahead a little bit extra.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
It's so fun. So, well, I kind of raised awareness around this.
Yeah.
And also how to, like, ways to get that groove into your melody playing also by emphasizing beat 2 and 4, sort of in the same manner. Wow. It's fun to play around with. And I think
that I've never messed with.
And I think so. This is sort of keys for me that are searching for that bluegrass sound, but can't really get it, And I think this is I'm onto something here. So, and I also believe that was playing like, let's say, playing polska, the Swedish most popular folk dance that I played a lot, or. We don't play ahead of the beat. We're probably a bit after the beat.
Yeah.
So it's a very different sort of timing and groove that is built into my kind of musicality. So I'm now a little bit like exposed to something that can probably help me. Well,
I think you can't go wrong listening to Tristan Scroggins, man.
No, and he used graphics also to explain this, and I thought it was very interesting.
I saw a snapshot on Instagram he had posted of the whiteboard that he used at Grenna
Okay.
the whole week.
Yeah.
I need to screen capture that and then zoom in. See if I can get any secrets off of the of
I
the
got them
whiteboard.
all. I got them all.
Yeah, I had a
Like,
feeling.
yeah. No,
That's fun.
but it's yeah. So two big things. A third one, a quick one, is called I got some new like bluegrass licks basically,
Yeah.
and it's sort of it also like really confirmed the use of what I and like you also call like the box 1 and box 3 playing while opening up the fretboard playing closed position, but some really useful licks within those boxes, making it possible to play like the bluegrass vocabulary in any key basically. And so working on that one, and the biggest takeaway though that kind of helped me already on well, I've been jamming a lot for hours here during the festival, and so one thing that Tristan told me that was affecting me from that point and towards, he said, put it like this: in bluegrass music, hesitation. So, this is like about like taking the breaks, playing your mandolin breaks, guitar breaks, or whatever it will be. The moment when people are like looking at you, finishing the verse. Now it's your time to go. And the words of Tristan: in bluegrass music, hesitation will be recognized. It's often better to plow through, even if you're just going for it.
Yeah.
So, and he kind of, to back up his statement, he also played back a few solos from recordings when Sam Bush was kicking off a break in the wrong key.
Yeah.
Like he's playing it throughout the chorus, or what do you call it? But he thought they were playing B flat when they were doing E flat or something like that. So it sounded really like note wise, it sounded very off. But he still got away with it because of this approach. Like he wasn't hesitating.
Yeah, that's so funny, right? That that attitude can kind of account for so much of whether a break sounds good or not.
So that's something that I played around with in the jams, and I can just confirm that it kind of made a big difference for me.
Yeah, that sounds like some really good nuggets of advice or observations,
So yeah, a lot of good things, really good things. So thanks, Tristan, for giving me all that kind of information.
Yeah, man, I'm even more sad now that I couldn't make it to the festival this year.
You would have loved it being there. However, I think this bluegrass class was not geared towards experienced bluegrass player like you. But of course, we always pick up things. But
yeah, I love that stuff. I'll steer the conversation this way. There was something else at the Grenna Bluegrass Festival that you got the chance to see before I got the chance to see it, which I'm a little jealous about.
Yes.
But my friends at Bulas Mandolins and Banjos in Poland had a little stand there, and I think you got to demo my new mandolin, which I'm about to receive here in a couple weeks.
Yes. And you actually knew sort of this was coming, because they have told you that they were like preparing your mandolin, and they wanted to bring it to Grenna for some exposure to potential customers. And and it seems like, how do you pronounce their name? Bulas?
Yeah, so the
But,
L with like a little slash through it is almost like a W sound.
oh,
So it's
boas.
buas.
Boas. That is how you
Yeah,
said. Boas.
yeah.
They make extraordinary instruments, and we will put a link here in the show notes if you want to check their website. Both like banjos and mandolins, as far as I know.
Yeah.
I've played their mandolins before, but this time I went up to when they had their kind of showcase, or what do you call it, showroom, and there was like a 2-point mandolin that I haven't seen before. I played their A models, I played their F models, but now there was a 2-point, and that is yours. How did you decide on the 2-point, by the way?
So I had seen Michael and Peter, the son and father respectively, that started that company. They sent me one of their F models a couple years ago to play and do some videos before IBMA, and I played both their A's and their F models, which are great mandolins. But about 6 months ago, I saw online they had posted a special mandolin that they custom built for someone, which was a 2-point model that had violin varnish on it. So it was kind of that old brown look, it wasn't like a typical mandolin look, but I really loved the body shape and like the design of the 2-point that they had. So Michael and I had been talking forever that I was going to get a Bulas mandolin at some point, and I texted him as soon as I saw that picture on Instagram, and I said, "This is the one I want. Like I'm making my order right now. This is the one that I want. I want the 2-point." It's just it's a funky design, right? You don't see too many 2-point mandolins out there, so I thought it was a good second mandolin to have in the corral. I've already got a really great F style from Red Diamond, so I thought a 2-point made sense,
Yes, fantastic. We're going to have a look at it. And also, if anyone is now listening to the audio version of the podcast, just know that in Mandolin Secrets Academy, you can also see an exclusive video version of this podcast. And so, as already mentioned, I played this mandolin for a while, and Michal was able to capture a little video of it. So here is the first sample of the Bulas mandolin for Hayes. Yeah, short. But
love it. You got to get them good. Does it do B well? That's the test, right? Can it play in the key of B?
Yes. That's where we were, and they paid a lot of attention to the finish, and the setup of this instrument is just perfect. I mean, you can't find any flaws really. Also, a little thing that he showed me how so they used like mother of pearl for the inlays in the headstock, and they used some that for the dots on the fretboard and all that. So it was very, very nice. And also it's kind of light-weighted. And he explained that normally on a 2-point, there's like solid wooden blocks under the horns, sort of.
Yeah.
But this time he kind of even shaped the blocks more following the binding of so he kind of could get, taking away wood that normally would add weight and probably even maybe even dampen the resonance or something. So he kind of used a little, like a more unique way of doing a 2-point.
That's super cool. I was unaware of that, so I'm really excited I've got my little dentist's mirror, so when I get the mandolin, I'll have to put it down in there and
you have
see what's going on.
And you will just realize how lightweighted it is.
Yeah, that's fun. I can't wait to take that one out
No,
for gigs then.
you're going to love it. And he told me that he was about to send it right after the festival, so it might even be on its way to you now.
Wait, I just heard the doorbell ring. No.
Nice. The other question we asked the community, did you attend any good concerts this summer? And, I already mentioned the Grenna Festival for me. Many good bands there. And one of the one bands that was a Czech band called New Adequate with our friend Ondra Kozak. Amazing concert.
I'm sad that I missed that one because I knew that band would be amazing, right? Ondra is a powerhouse player.
Yeah. And I'm gonna see, we have some questions from the community here. How about you, Hayes? Of course, we've seen concert, but anything that pops up to your mind?
So this was earlier in the summer, but I still have to talk about it because this was a huge checkbox for me in my life. Mm-hmm. I got to see Metallica live in concert. I've been a huge metal fan since I was a kid, ever since I started playing guitar, really. Yeah. And I had never, they were obviously, like anyone who's into metal music knows or likes Metallica, but I had never had the chance to see them live before. So my wife and I got tickets to a festival in Columbus. I think it was 60,000 people showed up to this festival over 2 days. But yeah, Metallica sounds awesome. They're, I think they even made a joke about it. They're in their mid 60s now, but they still are killing it, man. It's kind of amazing to.
So James Hetfield is still in the band?
Yeah. James Hetfield, still the lead guitar player. Lars Ulrich is still the drummer. And then the bass player, Robert Trujillo, is the newest one, who a lot of people may not be familiar with if they're familiar with early Metallica. But he played in a band in the 80s. A while also. Oh yeah, in the 80s he played in a band called Suicidal Tendencies, and then he eventually played for Ozzy Osbourne after that, who, as we all know, recently passed away. But man, and he was, check this out. So he even brought it out on stage. Robert was playing Jaco Pastorius's Bass of Doom, the Fender jazz bass. He bought that bass and helped the family get it back. So he played it on stage. And I was like, that's crazy. It was landmark for a number of reasons to see it. So it was a really cool show.
Cool. Yeah. I've never seen Metallica either, but it would be a milestone for sure.
Yeah. Bring your earplugs.
I can tell. Here's a few comments from the community. Amanda says she did see Chris Steele and the Detroit Symphony Orchestra.
Oh, wow.
That should be... There's a couple of replies to that also. And Juanita did see Alison Krauss, Union Station, San Diego. Ron, Sierra Hull and band. Christian says he did see Carlo Afonso, Italian.
Oh, yeah.
Mandolin player.
Classical player.
Yeah. And a few more. So, of course, the community has been out there attending a lot of concerts. I've been happy to... One concert that made a big impression on me, even though it's not recognized anywhere else. It was, I just went to... There was a local cafe nearby where my dad lives. They had a list of live music this summer. And then there was one act, Hulin Blues, it's called. Never heard of it, but it was the word blues in it. And one of my old friend, Daniel, who is we grew up together, and we were listening to a lot of and playing a lot of blues as teenagers. So we thought, well, let's go there, and it was this like an old barn, sort of, that made a cafe out of it. Very like really nowhere, sort of. And there was like a blues quartet showing up, local blues quartet, sounded like a local blues quartet, but it was just something with that was really inspiring. Maybe 50 people in the audience. And it was like more like people getting together to fika and have a coffee and see some blues bands. So it was really nice, and it's kind of it was really inspiring seeing it. Live music is always live music.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, like, you know, because we just talked about two drastically different things, like a Metallica concert with 60,000 people versus like just showing up to the cafe, right? And I wish there were more opportunities for the cafe thing. I wish that was more in daily life, like more prominent, you know.
Yes.
Because like you said, it's always fun to see and interact with live music.
Yeah, so that is kind of one of the concerts that I will remember. And it's sort of like, what was it? I remember sort of reignited my blues nerve a bit. So I even went to like a big blues, a Dala Blues Fest a couple of weeks later. That was a more big event with a lot of acts, great acts. Also a good idea to bring your earplugs for that thing. But anyway, the one that I remember is the small one. So Hulin Blues. I tried to really look them up before I went there, but there was one YouTube video somewhere, but no website, no anything like that. So this is a band working undercover, sort of. But
I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
That's hard this day and age, right? You know, everyone's got the Instagram page and the website and the Facebook page, and I kind of respect that there's not much out there, you know, guerrilla marketing.
Yes, exactly. I have a like video lesson that I want to share quickly, a little sample from that. But maybe we also want to look into the new video with your Northfield electric guitar. Maybe we start with that one actually, because I have a short clip here. Tell me a little bit what we're about to see.
Yeah, so this is honestly huge. You know, and I just released this video yesterday on my YouTube channel. A couple weeks ago, and I think we even talked about this on a previous podcast episode.
Yeah.
I had gone up to Northfield to get my rival 6-string acoustic archtop guitar, which I love. It's a really unique little instrument. And the Northfield guys kind of played a trick on me. They knew I was like coming up to grab this guitar, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll get those guitars out and maybe a couple other instruments for you to play. If you want to record some videos, we'll just hang out and have a good time." And I choose my guitar, and after I choose my guitar, they're like, "Well, let's go upstairs and check out some of the other stuff." And waiting on me when I get upstairs are these two like space-age looking hollow body electric guitars. So Northield Mandolins, a company that, you know, makes F-style, A-style mandolins, octave mandolins, everything mandolin. Like to see two electric guitars with the Northfield logo on the headstock was kind of like, you know, crazy. But the idea behind these guitars is that they're fully hollow. They have traditional guitar electronics on them, so humbucker pickups, but then there's also a piezo pickup under the bridge. So, and then like a blender system on board. So you can kind of run the electric pickups into like a Fender Deluxe, which is what I did in the video. And then you can run the acoustic side, the piezo pickup, into a acoustic amp and kind of have stereo signal and switch back and forth between them that way. So it's a really interesting instrument. They're like, people might be familiar with like the Fender, I forget what they call it, but it's the Acoustasonic ones. It looks like a Telecaster, but it has like a little sound hole for acoustic.
Oh.
Like, so it's supposed to be this hybrid acoustic electric thing. Fender, it's like notorious like that these guitars are bad. So like what the Northfield guitar is like the first good version of that hybrid electric acoustic guitar thing that I've seen. So that's kind of what we're dealing with. Cool. And maybe we can just hear it, and that would explain it better.
Here it comes, the Northfield's guitar.
Yeah, are you guys going to put a Floyd Rose on these at any point? Or Hey friend, you're familiar with Northield Mandolins, right? The company that disrupted the entire world of mandolin builders in the early aughts with their master-grade instruments that players like you and me can afford? Well, turns out that the folks at Northfield are actually a group of mad scientists who have been designing some of the craziest acoustic and electric instrument designs that we have seen in decades. And today, they have let one of their most recent experiments escape into the wild. Meet the Signal electric guitar, a hollow body electric guitar with split personalities. So just to back things up a bit, Northfield started with acoustic mandolins, F-style, A-style, F-hole, carved top, master grade instruments. Last year, Northfield celebrated 100 years of the Lloyd Loar mandolin and released a special new line of instruments that gave us a peek behind the curtain of that mad scientist laboratory. They gave us the short scale rival archtop guitar. Then they went full sci-fi with a solid body electric octave mandolin, the Ellie Octo. Some of you may have seen this instrument in the hands of one of today's most prominent pickers out there, Sierra Hull. But now they have cooked up this beauty, a hollow body electric guitar with Fralin mini humbuckers, a bridge-mounted piezo pickup, and onboard blending for both. The Signal comes in two flavors, one featuring a single neck humbucker pickup and a West Virginia red spruce top, a top wood that's typically reserved for acoustic instruments. And then we have the maple model, which features a book-matched figured piece of Michigan sugar maple on the top and back. There are separate knobs.
Okay, so this, this video is like 9 minutes long, but I can recommend anyone to just head over to Hayes' YouTube channel, and you can find it there, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah.
But
and just a quick mention too. This week, by the time this podcast episode's out, I guess this will have passed, but. We're debuting this guitar at the Fretboard Summit in Chicago, which is put on by Fretboard Journal magazine. So keep an eye out on Fretboard Journal's website for more info about these Signal guitars as well as Northfield mandolins.
Fantastic. Wish I someday can try it also. Looks
Well,
also that this electric octave mandolin would be very interesting. I haven't played that one either. Seen it around for a while. People in the community play it, and looks like a real solid instrument.
I played two when I was visiting them, the long scale version and then the, what do they call it, the Forza or something, the shorter one. I think I would go for the long scale version personally if I wanted the octave mandolin, but they're both really amazing instruments.
Cool. Also, want to leave you here with a little... this is especially for mandolin players, because we got our four fingers, and everyone knows that the pinky is sort of our weakest finger, and we gotta practice it to build strength into it and all that. And I'm really convinced that four fingers can play more than three, so I think every mandolin player should really get that pinky working. And in my a recent YouTube video, I shared a very simple but very powerful exercise. So the concept is very simple. It's You're taking a fiddle tune that you're playing in first position with open strings. Basically all the fiddle tunes you can think of. Salt Creek, it can be Whiskey Before Breakfast, it can be Blackberry Blossom, Saint Anne's Reel, whatever tune you play like fiddle tune. But instead of using the open string, you're kind of using your fourth finger on your fretting hand to kind of, so your pinky will like address the notes at the 7th fret. So instead of an open string, you're playing it like that. And so the concept is very simple. I didn't say it's going to be easy to do it, but just like playing around with this a bit will build the strength of your pinky in a very beneficial way. So we can actually have a listen to and see what it's like. I'm here demonstrating it for Blackberry Blossom. I call the lesson Pinky Power. Let us have a look when I'm playing the entire melody with this approach. It's Blackberry Blossom in the first position using no open strings. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you get the idea, and it's something that I kind of recommend everyone to try, because what this is doing, being able to use the pinky like that, it will really open up like closed position playing, and it will also be the key for playing in other keys. We're like talking B flat or using the upper part of the neck really. So, and is this an approach also working on the guitar, Hayes, or is that different?
Definitely. Yeah. I kind of used to play this game all the time back when I was in graduate school. I was first introduced to the idea from Matty Whitler, who was an amazing technician on both mandolin and guitar. But yes, we would not only just move the fiddle tune into a closed position to kind of work on finger strength and stuff like that. We would move it to different closed positions to kind of see what challenges each one of those closed positions would present. So for guitar people, like mandolin, we talk about box 1 and box 3 as being kind of the main frameworks for scales. Guitar, it's like the caged framework, which I'm sure you're familiar with, right? So moving it through all of the 5 chord shapes of caged would be like the goal.
Yes. And I think as an entry point, just try to replace that open string with a 7th fret and your pinky, and you are taking your first step there.
Absolutely. Can't go wrong.
So thanks everyone for listening today. A lot of things we've been going through, but feeling pretty good to wrap this up at the moment. Anything you want to add, Hayes?
No, I think that's great. It was great chatting with you today, but just a reminder to folks out there listening, head to mandolinsecrets.com/podcast for more info about the podcast. We've got links to Bulas and a couple of the other things that we were discussing here today. So that's a great place to keep up with the show.
Thanks. Also, one thing that if you have a subject or topic or something that you want us to address in the podcast, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Send us an email. drop us a message and tell me what you would like to be heard in the Mandolin Secrets podcast. And until next time, always remember, be a music maker.